Where and how to buy in Brisbane. We all know that the Brisbane property market is booming. I think that in 2022, Brisbane will be in the top 2 cities for capital growth in Australia. I know so many of you guys in Victoria and New South Wales, you want to buy in Brisbane, but you don't really know where to buy, you don't really know how to buy. So in this video, we'll be touching those two subjects: the top suburbs, the most popular suburbs, where to buy, and how to actually do it. Okay, so my name's PK and I help people build passive income using data without needing a $15,000 buyer's agent every single time. And if you enjoy videos like these, if you enjoy my channel, which really exists to help you guys get ahead through real estate, smash that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, and please give it a thumbs up, give it a like. That way, more people will get that benefit. All right, let's start. Okay, so around me right now, you can already see the map of Brisbane. It's a little bit difficult to see, but this is Brisbane City Council proper. Up north, you've got Moreton Bay Council. Out west, you've got Ipswich Council. Down south, you've got Logan City Council. Let's hone in on Brisbane City Council. So you've got 4 neighborhoods in Brisbane City Council. You've got Brisbane City, North Brisbane, South Brisbane, West Brisbane. Hopefully I'm sort of giving you a lay of the land so you can actually understand what Brisbane looks like, what it feels like, the better pockets, the worst pockets, and the rationale, so that you're not taken for a ride by a buyer's agent trying to sell you some stock or some property investment company. The key attributes are on the second column, and then the popular suburbs. So Brisbane City, now obviously this is very expensive, but I think you should understand the city in which you're actually going to invest. So the key attributes are they're upgrading the Riverside Promenade. So there's a new casino going in, new hotels. It's completely refashioning. It's going to look a bit like Singapore, if you ask me, which makes me excited because I've been living in Brisbane for more than 15 years now, and it's really come a long way from that old country town sort of feeling and stigma that it had. So in Brisbane City Council, or Brisbane City, I should say, there's fantastic cafes, leafy suburbs. It's really trendy, it's a bit like the Rocks, you could almost say, or that sort of surrounding area in Sydney. The popular suburbs are the Fortitude Valley, Spring Hill, New Farm, Bowen Hills. Now, if you have a cool $2-3 million to spend, these are really good places to buy. In and around Bowen Hills, you can actually find freestanding freehold houses, so they will do incredibly well. North Brisbane, you've got urban gentrification, you've got the Brisbane airport upgrades, the new runways just been built, some fantastic new bikeways which are really opening up this sort of North Brisbane area, making it more, family friendly. You've got the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, which is brilliant up north. You've got the hospitals, and really the premium suburbs in and around North Brisbane are Newmarket, Grange, Wilston, Windsor, Hamilton, Albion, Nunda, Chermside, Lutwyche, Boondall, Clayfield, Kedron, Northgate, Nudgee. So, if you have a budget, of no more than $1 million, places like Boondall, you can get something for $500,000. Northgate, in and around those types of areas, Banyo, they form really, really good investment decisions for neutrally geared properties. Now on the south side, there's a vibrant multicultural arts centre and dining. You've got lots of parklands. The south side tends to be a little bit more open, if you ask me. You've got some great universities, obviously the Gabba, which is going to be updated for the Olympic Games. And the best suburbs, or the most popular suburbs on that sort of inner south side are South Bank, South Brisbane, Kangaroo Point. All these are very expensive suburbs. But if you can get something in Mount Gravatt, under $700,000, under $800,000, if you have that kind of money, you can sort of almost bet yourself that thing's going to go up by another 20% at least in the next year or two. And Wollongabba, the only place I would be doing, a big, large scale development, or I would be doing perhaps sort of ground story townhouse purchase is a place like Wollongabba, because it's really like the Redfern of Sydney. It's sort of not been the most attractive place historically, but it's come a long way, and they're literally pouring tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars into that area in time for the Olympic Games, amongst other things. And then you've got West Brisbane, where you've got Suncorp Stadium, the university, Mount Coot-tha, which they're activating the botanical gardens. You've got great university suburbs like Milton, St. Lucia, Toowong, Indooroopilly, and some of these more residential areas like Annerley, Taringa, Yeronga, Kenmore. I mean, Kenmore, if you were to ask me which is going to grow the most out of West Brisbane in the next 1 or 2 years, I would probably say somewhere like Chapel Hill or Kenmore. And you've got places like Red Hill, which have been great for development. So those are some very popular suburbs, guys. If you're getting value so far, hit the subscribe button. And the next thing I want to take you through is actually how to buy. So what is the process of buying? Now, we've mostly been investing and buying in locations sort of under 600K in Brisbane. We bought a lot of properties, almost on the edge of Moreton Bay and Brisbane City Council, Ipswich and Brisbane City Council, Logan and Ipswich City Council, Logan and Brisbane City Council, in and around 400, 500, $600,000. So if you want to invest there for under $600,000, you certainly can. The process by doing so, and I know that you guys who are down south, Melbourne, Sydney, etc., you sort of automatically think you need a buyer's agent, right? You don't. Let me walk you through the process that you can do yourself. So the first step is finance, okay? So to be able to figure out whether you can even afford to buy in Brisbane, you need to go to a mortgage broker and ask them what you can afford from a borrowing capacity perspective. So many of you have so much equity in your homes in Melbourne and Sydney. I don't think that will be a problem for many of you. Then you find a really good conveyancer or solicitor in Queensland to represent your purchase in Brisbane, okay? And once again, you don't need a buyer's agent for a mortgage broker or a conveyancer. I can give you those. Of course, my students in the Property Investment Accelerator get my team as well. And then to buy established property, what you'd obviously need to do is develop a strategy, select the right suburbs, which once again, for my clients, I can just tell you, or you can do your research yourself using the data that I teach. Or if you already know you don't need the course, that's fine as well. And obviously the next process is to inspect the property at an open home or by private inspections. You might be thinking, well, I do need a buyer's agent, right? Because I need to buy this property, need it to be inspected. Actually, I can just give you property managers locally that will do that inspection for you better than you can do it, better than most buyer's agents. In fact, most buyer's agents will use these property managers to inspect on their behalf anyway. So why not cut out the middleman and just get that inspection done yourself? All right. So then obviously simultaneously you've been working on the pre-approval with the mortgage broker. Once you've inspected the property, you've asked for a copy of the contract. Once the conveyancer has received the copy of the contract and you've actually entered into the contract using your negotiation, which once again, everything is done over email. You don't need to fly up to Brisbane or anything like that, as scary as it sounds. It's really not. Then you organize a building and pest inspection, which really, once again, is a local person who goes through the property. This is a 10, 20-year purchase. You don't want it to fall down or fall apart anytime soon. So they're going to make sure that it's structurally, sound. And once again, you don't need a buyer's agent for that. We can give you those contacts. And like I said, then you negotiate further if you can within the conditional period. And once that cooling off period finishes, you put on a holding deposit. Normally in Brisbane before unconditional, the holding deposit is $1,000. And upon unconditional, it's normally like 10%, as I've set up here. 10% is paid at the moment of unconditional contract before it settles. Okay, then obviously all the conveyancing is happening, your conveyancer is speaking with your mortgage broker and really handling that finance process and its interplay with the contract process. And they really handle that for you. And then settlement occurs. Settlement is when you officially get the keys, or in this case, as an investor, your property manager that we've already given you gets the keys from the selling agent, and that's done. It's really so easy. It's not very hard. None of this process really needs a buyer's agent if you have a little bit of time, 2, 3, 4 hours a week. And that's really how to buy a property in Brisbane. So hopefully that was super useful. If you want me to do another video on those pockets that are between Brisbane City Council and Ipswich, between Brisbane City Council and Moreton Bay, between Brisbane City Council and Logan City Council, those areas that we've been buying, for around $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. If you're interested in that, just leave a comment, Brisbane, below. But hopefully this gave you a lay of the land, and hit the subscribe button if it is. My name's PK, and I wish you all the best.